Ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, proudly presents to you another fantastic episode of 15 Minutes of Fandom. That's right. With this segment, what we do, we put the spotlight on one wrestling fan that we feel stands out from the others and just have them on here to shoot the breeze about their love for professional wrestling, what it means to them, moments they've enjoyed as a fan, etc., etc. So, with that being said, I am your host, that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is actually a young lady who actually is from the 592, just like myself. Man, I always, whenever I see a Guyanese fan, I always got to have them on the show because, it's rare. And I can count on, so far, I can count on one hand the amount of fans that we've had. And that's like, I think, two or three. Shout out to Brian F Pro and also um, Prince Harry. Um, I forgot what the guy's name, Prince Harry. But you guys know who you are. Thank you for being on here. But everybody, welcome to the show. Cartoonist, illustrator, painter, singer. We're gonna talk about that too. And wrestling fan, Giselle, aka Funky Punk NYC. How you doing tonight?
Hi, good, doing good. Thank you for that amazing intro. I appreciate it. Hi,
I, I,
everybody.
I pretty much just yell at the top of my lungs, and I try to challenge. It's a little bit of Road Dogg, Jesse James, and some Howard Finkel, and a little bit of Justin Roberts, and I just hope I
Yeah,
sound. So thanks,
yeah.
though.
I hear the references.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how you doing?
I'm doing good. Not nothing too wild really going on at this moment, but yeah,
Okay,
doing pretty good. Yeah, yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
When I first, I actually found you because I was like, I actually was looking because I was like, I wonder how Black Girl Magic was, and I was like, how was it this weekend? Because I not this weekend, of course, it was like several weekends ago, but I was like, I wonder how it was. What people are saying about it? Because I had to work. Unfortunately, I had to work that day,
Mm,
so I unfortunately missed it. I heard a lot of great things, and I saw there were a couple people that were saying how great it was and tipping their hats off to uh I think it's Spice Spiegler's her name.
yes.
Sorry if I'm getting your name mixed up. Please don't kill me next time you see me at a wrestling event. But Spice Spiegler and Battle Club Pro, and then I saw two people. I saw you, and then I saw this one guy, the antagonist, and then I saw you, and I was like, wait a minute, she's Guyanese. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, I've never seen a Guyanese fan before. I've seen fans of many from many countries, never a Guyanese fan. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm Guyanese too, born and raised. So I'm like,
Nice.
let me go ahead and have the sister on the show, man. I gotta have my people on here, man.
I
You know,
appreciate that.
and and then your draw, and then what got me was your draw too. So I'm like, yo, these drawings are phenomenal, man. Like, wow, like
Thank
whatever.
you.
Hey,
Appreciate
do
that.
me a favor. Don't stop drawing, man. You're that damn good. Keep it
Thank
up.
you. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really find too many Guyanese fans myself. Like, occasionally I might see someone with a Guyanese flag, like in the crowd or something during like a live show if I'm watching. Like, um, what show was it? I think it was it might have been a SmackDown show or recently, like might have been last week or something. And somebody was
Mhm.
holding up a Guyanese flag, and I was like, hey, we out here, you know. but
Okay.
um, but yeah, like yeah, it seems like a lot of Guyanese fans are hard to find, at least in one like in a select place. Like you have to search for them. It seems like, you know. So um, yeah, it's always great to find some fellow GT fans. You know.
Yeah, like I growing up, the only fan I knew of pro wrestling was like hard avid fan was my cousin that I grew
Yeah.
up with. And coming over here, moving over here, like I found people that knew of it, but not people that were like really into it that would go to like the independent shows and so on.
Right.
And then my biggest dream, actually, that I never thought would come true, came true, where I actually saw a Guyanese wrestler.
Ah,
And
nice.
I was like, wow. And it's actually, I don't know if you probably know him. You probably Ezekiel Jackson.
Yes, yes.
And when I first saw him, I was like, this brother looked like Bad News Brown. And
He
when I
does.
looked at his profile, I was like, wait, this man's from Guyana? What?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this
I
is
was
like,
shocked when I found out too.
yeah, and I was like, this is like 2008. And I'm like, I messaged him and he said he grew up in Linden. So I'm like, yeah, I grew up in Georgetown. So I said, if I ever get a chance to meet this man, I got to take a picture with him. And then 4 years later, we actually got to take a picture together. And I was
Oh,
like,
that's amazing.
yeah, man. And to this day, I mean, if I message him, he'll most likely answer. He's liked a couple of every now and then he likes like posts that I share. Not a lot, but once in a blue moon he likes them. I'm like, there goes Big Rick, man.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of harder to find, but like when you do find them, it's like it's almost like you feel like you found a sibling or something, you know?
yeah. If I saw somebody, if I saw somebody with a Guyanese flag in the crowd, I'd be like, "Hey, Bono, come here, boy. Come here, we got you like wrestling? Bye, come by. Hey, I got this podcast coverage. It's like, Bono, you gotta come to the show, buddy. I never
Yeah,
see a
right.
man like see my get hikes up on Lodge Zone, Bono. We gotta talk, Bono. Come."
Exactly, exactly. It's like, oh, you GT? Oh, shucks, Bono.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
so. I gotta ask, man, how did you become a fan of pro wrestling? What was the event? What was the pay per view or event that you saw that got you hooked?
Well, I started watching like in the early '90s, like no, I'm sorry, mid '90s, like when like around Attitude Era.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, I want to say like maybe like '96 or so. And
Okay.
yeah, yeah, and the one that I guess caught my interest initially was The Rock. Cause
Okay.
yeah, I saw The Rock and I was just like, yo, who's this guy that's just walking around with like um you know open, like, I guess you could say some of them were gaudy, but like these really like um oh yeah, like really extravagant, flamboyant shirts and a chain, and just walk around talking about the Rock says this and the Rock says, and, you know what I mean? Like, I was pulled in by the um, entertainment factor initially, and then
Yeah.
I started to get a little bit more into like some of the more technical wrestlers and stuff too, like Dean Malenko and uh like even like some like Chris Jericho matches, like really regal stuff like that. And I was like, wow, I'm really like fascinated by this sport, you know. So um, I never really got to I never got to go to a show as a kid or anything like that. But I would say pretty much initially it was The Rock that pulled me into wanting to watch more pro wrestling. And my dad, he didn't really want me watching it like that, because I guess back then, especially with how they treated women, it wasn't really
Yeah.
ideal for someone, a child growing up, a young girl growing up, seeing women in situations that they were in, unfortunately. So I get that, but sometimes I try to like sneak and watch a little bit, and yeah, I just was became like a lifelong fan.
Yeah. Back then, your dad was right, 'cause back then the Attitude Era. So you started watching in '96. So that was like the end of the new generation era.
Yeah,
And like a year later, it would be the Attitude Era. And
yeah,
I don't blame your dad. You're probably gonna hate me for saying this. But if I had a daughter, I wouldn't want, or even a son, I wouldn't want him watching some of the stuff like you got people going, suck it, and
yeah, yeah. No, I understand for sure.
know. So luckily, when that era happened, I was 14 years old. So
Yeah,
you know, so the Attitude Era happened in '97. I was 14. So a lot of
yeah,
the stuff that they were saying, you're a teenager. Teenagers know a lot more than people think they know.
Yeah, that's true.
And luckily, but even back then, I was like 14, 15-year-old me was like, it's a good thing I'm the age now because 6-year-old me couldn't watch this at all. Like, and I started watching
Yeah.
when I was 7. I was like, yeah, I couldn't watch this at all, man. The stuff that they had and so on. You know,
Yeah, man.
I never got in trouble for doing the DX crotch chop because one, I never did it that a lot, and two, I never in Ghana, Ghana, you do this. I don't know anybody in Ghana ever that got in trouble for doing that. I think that was a more
Right.
American thing. But I don't know
Yeah.
anybody back home that got in trouble for doing the crotch chop. But what I
Right.
used to do a lot was the people's eyebrow. That was
Oh
my
yeah.
did I
I
do?
used to do
Yeah,
that too, actually.
that was my thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rock was my favorite back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
So,
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say that. Yeah. I found myself like kind of emulating the Rock too, and then um, in terms of like women's wrestling, I loved Jacqueline and Lita and China because they actually like wrestled and like showed some form of dominance, and that I got that's what kind of gave me like some hope about women's wrestling even as a kid, because as you said, Attitude Era started in '97, so I think I was 11 at that time, so not like too young, but it's still kind of working out certain things developmentally,
yeah,
and yeah, it's like, but like when I saw those, and also like Victoria too, I saw like those type of wrestlers, and then there was a point when I considered like being a wrestler myself, but then I was like a got became afraid of getting like a lifetime injury or something like that, like a life altering injury. So
yeah. And that's why I always like respect what they do in that ring, and I
yeah,
don't hesitate to interview. And we don't hesitate to interview anybody because regardless of whether they become famous or not, regardless of whether they make it to WWE or AEW or not,
right,
they're still putting on a show for us. They're still risking their physical and mental health.
right,
That if Joe Schmo that wrestles in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or Jane Schmain that wrestles in the northernmost part of California were to come on here and say, "Hey, we'd like to be a part. We'd like to be guests on your show," unless that person's a scumbag or a dirtbag, I would
right.
have the show. I don't care. I mean, because at the end of the day, they're putting on a show for us. And besides, you never know where somebody's going to be in the near future.
Yeah,
We've
that's true.
had people that have gone on to wrestle in the NWA. We've had people that wrestled in that got signed to WWE to AEW that were
Oh,
actually on
wow,
the show. So
that's amazing. Yeah,
you never know. You know,
yeah, yeah.
we've made very several good friendships, and it just amazes me how far we have come in 3 years as a podcast. Because 9 years we've been a brand for 9 years, but we've been a
Nice.
podcast 3 years. So it just amazes me. But enough about me, man. So what was your first show that you went to, man? What was it like for you?
Um, well, this is gonna be crazy because I've never gone to a live event until like a few years ago.
It's okay. Hey,
Yeah.
I didn't go to my first one until I was 29.
Oh
So
wow. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
actually, technically 28, going on 29. So don't
yeah,
feel bad. But yeah,
yeah.
how was it for you?
It was great. So the first show I went to was it was with my fiance. We went. I got the tickets for us because it was oh shoot, what were we celebrating? Was it his birthday? Oh shoot, I forgot. I forgot what we were celebrating, but we were celebrating something. And the first show I went to was Raw 25.
Mm,
Yeah, when they were celebrating 25 years of Monday Night Raw, and
okay.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. And yeah, I got to see some wrestlers that like we grew up with and such. And it was a what so I guess one of the things that was kind of weird for me, or just like I didn't realize that this is the way that they did it, was like how on TV when you always hear like the announcers talking, like the commentators talking. I thought
Yeah.
for some reason I thought you would be able to hear it in the arena.
Yeah,
So like when you don't hear them talking, and you hear the entrance music and everything, and you see when they come out, but then when you don't hear any like commentary, I was just like, oh, all right, it's kind of quiet, I guess. But the crowd was great, and it was just a pretty um it's a unique experience, I feel, because they almost I guess you could almost kind of compare them to like a circus in terms of like being a traveling show,
yeah,
and the spectacle of it is definitely there, and it was amazing to be a part of. It's a little hard to describe, I would say, almost, but it was great being in that place and just feeling the energy of everybody being excited to be there and stuff like that. So
that's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I've been to three WWE events so far. I've been to Raw, not Raw, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania. Not all in that order, but I've been fortunate to go to those three. I call
That's
those
awesome.
three of the big four. I haven't gone to a Royal Rumble yet. Hopefully, I get to go to one. But yeah, I've been fortunate to go to those four those three events for WWE. Haven't
Yeah,
gone. I've been to two Ring of Honor shows, and that's it. Everything else I've been to, I've been to every other show I've been to has been an indie show.
nice,
And
nice.
I got a question: are you going to go to the AEW show this Wednesday?
I am actually. Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I initially wasn't sure if I was gonna go, but my favorite wrestler in AEW is Orange Cassidy, and I saw that he had a that he's getting an actual match on the card. He's gonna be on the card, so that was like my deciding factor.
I'm a, I haven't bought my ticket yet, but I'm gonna go.
Mm,
I'm definitely gonna go ahead and get one and
nice.
just check out because I haven't been to the AEW show yet. And the last time they were here in Queens, actually, I actually had a podcast, a show um that was doing, and I was interviewing this other tag team that actually was trained by Cody Rhodes. So
Oh wow.
I was like, I, I should just I should just reschedule this show. But then again, I was like, reschedule the show and go to AEW and watch wrestling, or I can stay home and talk to two actual wrestlers. And I chose the latter, talking to
Yeah,
two actual wrestlers who
yeah.
are doing great right now, actually. So I'll
That's
probably
amazing.
if I went to the eight, I'm probably not kicking myself too much, but I would have kind of felt away. But I'm definitely gonna try to make this one here, and see what the buzz is about, and so on.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is
I'm hoping to go to Full Gear also.
Full
Yeah.
Gear here, or is it somewhere else?
I believe it's in Jersey.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. I think if I recall recall correctly, excuse me. Um, I believe it's going to be in the Prudential Center.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I will
um,
probably have to check that out. I will. Have you? Is this your first show you've been to, or you've been to several others before?
I've been to a few others. Do you mean like in general or just like AEW?
AEW.
Oh yeah, I've been to two shows before. That was like the first time they came to Arthur Ashe. I went to that, and another show that they did at Prudential Center. That was before they did the one at Arthur Ashe. So yeah, um, I think
Well, I'm gonna definitely try to make this one. I'm gonna definitely try to make this one and see um, how it is. I just I gotta work the next day, but hopefully I'll be able to make it home at a certain decent time and get some rest before work. Cause
yeah.
yeah, I heard that they take dark and then they have Rampage. So
Yeah, that's gonna be a long show because if I recall correctly, when I went for Grand Slam last year, it was 5 hours worth of wrestling. So
what?
yeah, yeah, it was wild, but it felt like a pay per view. It was an amazing experience. Arthur Ashe almost feels like it was built to be for wrestling, even though we know obviously it's for tennis, but the way it was set up, there wasn't really too much of a bad seat per se. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, yeah.
I'll
Sorry, I just want to say I think I saw see a friend of mine in the chat. Hi, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll
Yeah.
that. So you're an Orange Cassidy fan. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, I love Orange Cassidy. Actually, got a chance to. He recently started streaming on Twitch, and I actually got to make his first emote, like first animated emote for him. So yeah,
Awesome. That. Wait, does he say much? Because I can only imagine. I can only imagine Orange Cassidy on here being like, "What's up?"
yeah. you,
That's
you
cool.
know, lately he's been talking quite a bit, and it's fascinating because I genuinely think that he's not so much the exact opposite of his character, like when he's out of character, but because I still think he's a very chill person, but I think he's a very like passionate person, and like he'll get like really excited about like certain things, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Um, but he still tries to like stay in character for the most part, but like if there is something that he is like really like pumped about, like he'll show it. So um it, his Twitch has been interesting. Like he watches like a lot of old Love Connection videos and stuff. It's very random, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw him, and it took a while for him to me to get used to him, for him to like grow, for him to grow on me, because I was like, this guy, he's here, he's putting his hands in his pocket, he's giving people light, like kicks to the shin that you could barely feel. Then all of a sudden, then all of a sudden, when you push him down, he does a kip up with his hands still in his pockets, and then all of a sudden he just starts going fast. So
Yeah.
he, he's one of those guys that you got to get used to,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm not hating on him, but he was unique. He's unique, but a good unique, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Unlike some
Um
unlike some people that I've seen who shall remain nameless that are no longer in the business. That yeah, but I'm not gonna
yeah.
call names, but because I'm not here to be scandalous, but yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely he found his niche, and he made it work for him.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I remember when I saw him debut, because I never seen him before, like in indies and stuff. But I was just now getting into indies when I found out about AEW too. Like
Mhm.
when AEW first started. But
Yeah,
yeah, when I first saw him, I was like, who is this guy that's just he's wearing sunglasses while he wrestles and again like with the hands in the pockets and stuff, but doing these insane moves and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is different. I like this because nobody else is doing that.
yeah,
And I think that's I tend to be drawn to characters more. Not so much not drawn to like technical wrestlers as well because I love a lot of technical wrestlers as also, but um, I think I tend to become like bigger fans of those that are like unique characters.
okay,
Yeah, so I think that was another reason why that kind of um, drew me in, if that makes sense. So.
yeah. Sometimes some people have such a great character that you can't help but like.
Yeah, yeah, for
uh,
sure.
Like honestly speaking, so Daniel Garcia, right?
Yes.
So Daniel, have you ever heard of a guy called Kevin Blackwood?
The name sounds familiar, but I don't really. I'm not like super familiar with him though.
Kevin Blackwood, and this is a guy I'd highly recommend everybody should check out. I hope I can get him on the show. But he is a guy. He has a unique way of he has tattoos, but he has a long black sleeve. I think his left or his right arm.
Oh wow.
He has the last name Blackwood. So I'm like, yo, that sounds unique. And he's actually Daniel Garcia's. Well, I think they're still tag team partners, and they were in a
Oh
stable
wow.
called the Buffalo Brothers. And then when I looked into, because I tend to like to research people as well. When I
Yeah.
looked into the Buffalo Brothers, there's a guy called Puff, and I'm like, this
Oh, I
guy
know
seems.
Puff.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know Puff?
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen Puff and I've heard of him. Yeah.
yeah, I seen Puff and I'm like, this guy looks like he looks really cool. He's a big guy,
Yeah,
and I'm like, this guy seems cool to talk to, you know.
yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, it's some people have such great characters that you can. And I could tell you, if you ever watch wrestling in California, whoo man, characters galore.
Awesome.
There's actually a guy called Serial Man. I'm like,
Cereal Man.
I'm curious as to what his story is. Yeah, Serial Man.
That's hilarious. And so
Yeah,
he just like walks around with like boxes of cereal or something, or
I think so. I know he has like a cape and like a kind of superhero getup, and he
oh
wrestles as
man,
Serial Man.
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, the I yeah, like speaking of like superheroes and stuff. Like I remember as a kid, like another one of my favorite wrestlers was the Hurricane, and again, like I guess it was me being drawn to characters.
right.
I he always used to crack me up when he was like, "What's up with that?" and stuff, stuff like that, and there's a hurricane coming through, and then just about to like switch off and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um. Yeah. The Hurricane. Yeah. So I take it you also read comics as well too.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot of comics I need to like still catch up on. I'm trying to catch up on, but yeah, I definitely read comics
So are you
and like
Marvel?
manga and stuff.
Are you Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, Image?
Um, I guess more Marvel than anything still, but I do read like I also read like a lot of like indie comics
Okay.
and some Image and some Dark Horse as well. DC not quite as much, but yeah, pretty much all over the place. I've been trying to read more manga as well, so
Okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
all over.
Oh, manga. Well, have you been in Japan yet?
No, not yet. No, I wish.
You would love it over there. I actually was stationed over there for 3 years.
Oh wow.
I went to Tokyo twice. I'll tell you this, Akihabara is the place to be. If you're a full time anime person, you love it and everything. Akihabara is the place to be because that's where you got people that actually cosplay as anime characters and so on. So I would definitely recommend
Oh
that.
wow.
That likes anime.
That sounds dope. Yeah, yeah. I'm down to check that out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
also do artwork, some phenomenal artwork. I saw your stuff and I'm like, man, you know something? I think I'm gonna have to hit you up to do some commissions for me, man, because I seen some
Mhm.
stuff you did. I seen
Oh, I
one you
appreciate that.
I saw one you did um with a guy in a red coat with glasses and blonde hair.
Oh,
And I
that's
was like,
yeah, that was a black version of Vash the Stampede from Trigun. I don't know if you're familiar with Trigun, but that's a great anime and manga too if you've never seen that one. But yeah.
and so I saw that and I was like, yo, this woman got it going. This girl could draw. This woman got it going on.
Oh,
Like
thank you. I appreciate that.
I've seen some people in their artwork, but yours is like, wow, she did this. Yo, yeah, I got some ideas for you for Ringside Society, man. Some designs. So I mean, I might have to hit you up, man, as well too, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, let me know, man. Yeah.
stuff done, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm not just saying that because you're in front of me. Your artwork is amazing. I was like, wow, she actually did. This is like comic book worthy. Like if you had a comic book, I would definitely believe that. Yeah, that's Giselle's work right there. That's
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
You know,
Yeah.
uh,
I'm actually working on my own comic book.
okay,
Um, yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I've been I need to kind of get back on the ball with it because I've been kind of like taking a bit of a hiatus in terms of working on it.
Okay,
But yeah, I'm working on the script and characters and everything and drawing it out. But it's gonna be called the Useless Ones, and I it I don't want to like give like too much away about it just yet, but it's basically like a bunch of like misfit type characters that develop powers with things that they're obsessed with.
okay,
Um, yeah, and depending on what that is, it might end up being like a kind of a garbage power. or something that was just like what is this? Why is this even considered a power or something like that? So it's like it'll be like something corny. So, but but I intend for it to be like I guess kind of like a dark comedy, if that makes sense. Dark
Okay.
comedic kind of comic, yeah. So yeah, that's something that I've been working on.
Wow, that's cool.
Thank you.
That's cool. Like I would say, keep it up, keep on doing your thing. I'll definitely buy that comic. Like I like
Awesome.
when it comes to reading comics, I don't have a particular brand I stay to. If I like the
Yeah,
character, I'm gonna buy it. Like when I was in Florida, I used to every week I used to be buying comics every week, and it varied. It wasn't just Marvel or DC. It would be Image. It would be Dark Horse. It would
yeah,
be some startup company. But what got me was the fact that I liked the story. I liked where it was going. You got me sold. Take my money and shut up, or shut up
yeah,
and yeah, as they say these days.
yeah. Exactly.
And
Um,
some of the best series actually, I've seen there's some series like for example, The Boys is not Marvel or DC. The Boys is an independent
right.
as well too. So yeah,
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen Invincible, but that one is insane.
I've heard of
Um,
that. I haven't seen it yet,
yeah.
but I've heard of Invincible. Actually, Invincible has like I think two or three other friends that are actually superheroes. I think he was part of a crew. There's
Mm.
another guy called I think Shadowhawk that's also or Nighthawk, one of the two. But he's also a friend of Invincibles as well. And I think
Oh,
he
I have
had
to look
another
into
guy
that.
that's like a Griffin like I like to say it's like a Griffin, some kind of hybrid creature like character that's also a superhero. So yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
check that out.
yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
gotta
it's,
look
it's
into that.
way back when it was like from like 2005. So you could probably Google
Wow.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. That's fascinating.
I know about Invincible and so on. Yeah, it was I haven't checked out the series yet, but I've heard nothing but great things about it.
Yeah, that one definitely took some turns that I didn't expect, which was kind of which was like really refreshing for me because um there's a lot of like tropes that kind of just end up being reused and recycled in comics, which to an extent I understand because if they it's like one of those things where it's like why fix something that's broken, but at the same time it's always great to have something original to bring to
Yeah,
to um to the market and such. So yeah, there was some stuff that happened in Invincible that was just like, holy crap, this is insane. And yeah, man, I would definitely recommend it if
I'll
might
have to check
ever
it
need
out.
it. Yeah.
If I was a rich person with money to burn, I'm talking like Vince McMahon, Tony Khan money, I would like to buy the rights to Double Dragon,
Ooh.
and I wouldn't mess with the games. The games were good. Part three was kind of whack. I didn't like that too much, but
Yeah.
parts one, two, and even part four, which came out several years ago, were fine with me. But what I would do, I
Nice.
would like to buy it and I'd like to make redo the movie because to me the movie just left you like feeling very unsatisfied.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mark, don't get me wrong, Mark Dacascos and Scott Wolf, who played Jimmy Lee and Billy Lee respectively, great actors. Alyssa Milano, who played Marion, great actress. Robert Patrick, who played Kogo Sugar, aka the Shadow Boss,
Right.
great actor as well, one of the best villains. And for those of you young ones that don't know who Robert Patrick is, that's the guy that played T-1000 in Terminator 2. One of the best villains you can find.
Sorry about that.
And it was just the plot I was not satisfied with. And being a 12-year-old kid and seeing that, I was like, yeah, this ain't it. They could have done better with this. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to buy that and either turn it into a movie, if not a movie, turn it into like a series, like how they took how like kind of like in the vein of like Cobra Kai.
Oh, that
And
would be dope. Yeah. Yeah.
I would just like to like go through bit by bit, like how the Lee brothers came to be, and just do better by the villains. Like say, hey, this is Machine Gun Willie, and this is a Bobo, and all. Like I'd like to do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be amazing if you could do that. Hey, never know. could
Yeah,
and to put a set of money and just start be like I want to buy this.
I would do it. I
Never
mean,
know.
I got
Yeah,
some ideas. I got some ideas, but hey, one could dream, you know.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you say so who are some of your favorite superheroes that you like to like watch and that you enjoy like reading about and so on?
Um. Well. I guess in terms of like I guess like a more well known superheroes. I know like Storm was always one of my favorites. And
Okay.
that was like one of my first introductions into comics and like wanting to create comics myself.
Okay.
So yeah, just like X-Men franchise in general, and Spider-Man. I was a big fan of Spawn for a good while too. Um, let's see, and then in terms of manga, like my all-time favorite manga is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Um, yeah, and that actually started me back into drawing. For because for there was a good while when unfortunately I'd fallen into like a pretty deep depression, and I'd stopped drawing for a long while, and then I found out about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and the art style and like the wild like kind of psychedelic colors and um bizarre storylines, for lack of a better word. I felt like maybe it made me feel like maybe there was a niche for like the type of uh off the wall kind of stories that I would want to produce.
Yeah.
So yeah, it made me like start drawing again, and like actually like made me start working on my comic again as well too. So um yeah, just yeah, like a lot of those, and yeah, I think I've been really more into manga lately. So like some of the more popular ones, like Attack on Titan, and
Sure.
uh yeah, like Demon Slayer, and and then there's some that have never been made into anime either. Like one of my favorite ones that has never been made into an anime is called Vagabond,
Mhm.
and yeah, the art is amazing in that one. So um, I tend to be I think I tend to be drawn to art style first before storyline. I know like a lot of people might be like more of the opposite, but I don't know if it's because like I'm an artist too, but I tend to be drawn to phenomenal or unique art first. So um, but yeah, like let me see, I'm trying to think if there's any other superheroes. Um, I used to like the Flash as well. Um, yeah, but yeah, there's like a bunch of um characters that like um I guess like starting from like growing up, but then like going into more manga like more as an adult or like nowadays. So
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
thank
I'll tell you what, I'm glad you got over your depression. I'm glad you're back to writing comics.
you.
Please don't stop. You actually have a new fan in me. Do
I
not stop.
appreciate that.
You know, don't let nobody discourage you. Don't let nobody, I know if it hasn't happened yet, you're gonna hear it from me. If it happened already, I'm sorry it went through. But if anybody says anything negative to you, always remember that people, when people say negative things, they're actually showing you their own limitations.
Mm,
Their limitations are
mm,
not your limitations,
right.
So, and I've seen that with my own personally when when I used to sing in a group, I had a guy that
Oh
used to make
wow.
fun of me singing, and then when me and my group went on that stage and I started singing my part, all the girls, and I kid you not, I'm not tooting my own horn, all the girls in that stadium started screaming, and
Oh
after
shoot.
they wanted us to sing for them, so like personally, after the show, so people will say things because they can't do any better themselves, or they're
Right.
just be like, okay, whatever, dirt off my shoulder. All right,
Right.
thank you for letting me know where you stand, and have a good day,
Yeah.
and just keep on being awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still working on a comic, and I'm looking forward to the release, man. I'll definitely buy it. Hell,
Thank you.
I'll even share it on my personal Instagram. I'll be like, yeah, Guyanese artists, um, 192, yeah, man, Giselle
Yeah,
from NYC, man. This girl got a bad comic book man. I never see somebody. Yeah, the girl had the first page. Somebody done hype up on large on somebody already, man. Yeah, you gotta check out this thing bad for the years, man. I'll be like that too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for
yeah.
those kind words. Yeah.
So back to the wrestling now, man. So I just got a couple more questions before I call it a night.
Yeah, of
But
course.
but you went to Black Girl Magic. One,
Yeah.
I'm actually I'm kind of mad at myself that I couldn't make it, but work is work, got to pay them bills.
Yeah.
But it had a lot of great people on that show.
Oh yeah.
A lot of women of color, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
black women on there too as well. What was your mindset after that show? What was going? What
Oh
were you
man.
doing?
Yeah. It was like um it was not, it wasn't just like refreshing to see like just like a whole program of black women or black femmes that are, you know, doing the sport that we all love. It really it really brought home to me the fact that represent how important representation is, and how, like, you know, like little girls and stuff that were like in the crowd were like watching these women wrestle and be like, hey, maybe this could be me someday. You know what I mean? Or even not even just if it's just wrestling, or like, or if they want to do something else in the entertainment business or whatever. You know, they see that, you know, these people are being successful at what they want to do in life. And, you know, I feel like a child could take that and take that what they see and incorporate that into their own mindset. And that was really like that was really like heartwarming for me. And yeah, I was selling artwork at Black Girl Magic. And yeah, like even like some of the kids that came up to like my table and stuff. And you know, I they saw like I had like some art of like Bianca Belair, and I had some art of like Naomi and such. And they were like, you know, they were so like excited to see that. And you know, like asked their parents if they could get of like one of the prints and stuff. And it was just beautiful to see so much support for black women and their endeavors that are like, I guess to say, outside of what um might be considered like what black women were stereotypically into, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
um and yeah, it was just a beautiful experience. I can't wait for the next one that they're gonna do next year. And I got to meet Willow Nightingale. She was super nice. Actually, she told me she's part Guyanese as well. Funny enough. Yeah,
what?
yeah,
Get out of
yeah,
here!
yeah. I
Hey,
was shocked myself.
who's so? I'm kicking myself now because I should. Had I known, I would definitely would have pushed harder for her to be on the show, man. Because like I
Yeah,
said, if I see, and I'm not. For those of you listening, I'm not a racist person. I'm not a biased person. But just that y'all gotta understand that when I see, there's not a, first off, the only most people in New York know who Guyanese are. Outside of New York is South Florida. A lot of other places don't know where guy know who Guyanese are. They say, "Oh, you're from Ghana?
yeah.
Wow, that's cool." No, different continent. Guyana. It's right up. Oh, where's that? Right above Brazil, where everybody else wants to go.
They
Oh, never
always
heard of
say
it.
that.
I never heard of it. I'm like, you ever heard of Jim Jones? Yeah, yeah. You ever heard of the Jim Jones massacre? Yo, Jim
Oh
Jones, the
god.
rapper massacred somebody. Yo, no, not that Jim Jones. This is another Jim Jones. Like, okay, okay, wow. And then it's just sad that I have to mention the whole because I mean, you obviously know about the Jim Jones
Oh yeah, yeah.
tragedy, and it's just sad that you have to tell people about that story for them to remember your country. You can't say, "Oh, we're known for this. We're known for." I mean, now I tell them, due to Black Panther, I tell them, you remember Shuri? Yeah, well, she's Guy. She's from there. She's from Guyana. Oh,
Right.
wow, cool. Yeah, so, but it's just sad, and when I see people like Willow and Ezekiel doing their thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also I don't know if you know, but not Kenny Omega, Kenny King, who's an Impact, is also half Guyanese. His
Oh,
dad is
really?
yeah,
Oh, wow. Nice. Nice. I didn't know that.
yeah. He actually had a tweet that he went on a vacation to Guyana. I was like, Kenny King,
Well,
you ain't this time in my Guyanese voice. I'm like, Kenny King, you in Guyana? What you doing in Guyana, boss? You got people come to find out the man's father's Guyanese. I'm like, oh, skates. I said to him, son,
yeah.
Kenny, I said to him, I said, Kenny, why you didn't tell me this a long time ago, man? I would have been. And you know the funny thing? I met him 12 years, not 12, 10 years ago. After
Wow.
the first Ring of Honor show, my friend Chris Cartwright was
Mm.
cool with him, and they know each other from way back. And he was supposed to come hang out with us at in downtown Fort Lauderdale, but
Uh-huh.
he had something he had to do, so he couldn't make it. But
Wow.
I was like, I met this man. I gave this man a dap, and I, man,
Damn. That's rough, man. Oh, shucks.
Little Night, man, I should, man. Had I, all the time I thought she was Dominican. I thought she was Dominican. Didn't know she was Guyanese. But hey, I'm glad
Yeah.
for, glad for either way. I'm glad that she's actually doing big things. I haven't seen I haven't seen AEW mention they've signed her. I wish they would mention that she's all elite, but
Yeah, that would be great.
they do their things. But
Yeah, man.
yeah, but I just like to see people from I mean I like to see anybody, but it really like gives me a great feeling when I see my people doing great things and so on. And
Yeah, for sure.
honestly, your talent, it wouldn't surprise me if a couple of wrestlers hit you up. Hey, Giselle, I need you to make this shirt for me, man. Your artwork is good. I would not be surprised.
Man,
You
that
know,
would be amazing. I would love to do some t-shirt prints for some wrestlers, I don't know.
never,
Yeah, I mean, if any of y'all watching, hit me up.
no, for real. If
Yeah.
there if there are any wrestlers that are, I'll even put it on Instagram. If any of y'all wrestlers out there want some shirts to be made, y'all check out this girl's artwork and then hit her up afterwards. She is that good.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, you mentioned Bianca Naomi. I'll never forget that Royal Rumble moment where Bianca. It was this year. Was it this year? I think it was this year. She won. She won
Uh,
the Royal Rumble this year, right?
yes, I think that was the second time she won.
I think
I
she
think she won again. I think she won for the
won.
first time last year. Was it last year or the year
No,
before?
no, 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 it was Ronda. It was last year. It was last year because Ronda Rousey won.
Okay, yeah. Ah, right,
But
right, right. Okay, there we go. You're right.
but I'll never forget when Bianca and Naomi were fighting, and they were like almost eliminated from the match.
Yeah,
They were fighting and fighting and fighting, and then all of a sudden, like they stopped and worked together to get back in. I saw it as a powerful moment because I saw
yes,
two strong black women that were fighting each other, weren't getting anywhere, but then they finally figured out, hey, you know something? Um, this isn't getting us nowhere. We're both gonna lose. Let's lift each other up and get back into this.
right.
And that happened, and
That was beautiful.
I really wish Bianca and Naomi would be a tag team, but
Yeah,
hey,
that would have been dope. I would have loved to have seen that.
I would buy every shirt
Personally.
they have, and even if I couldn't wear
Same.
it, I'd probably buy it for like a female fan that I know or so on.
Yeah,
So,
man.
but I just gotta say, Giselle,
Yeah.
it was an. I'm not gonna hold you up anymore. I know it's getting late, um, but um, thank you very much for doing this. I really and truly appreciate it. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to be
Oh,
on our show to shoot the breeze about your love for wrestling and show and so on.
well,
It's an
thank you for having me.
fellow Guyanese wrestling fan, and
Yeah, man.
don't go too far because we were looking to have you back on for one of our wrestling prediction shows as well too. And if your
Oh,
fiance is a
sweet.
wrestling fan, by all means, tell him to hit us up. We'd like to have him on as well. So I don't know if he's one as well, but if he is, he's more than welcome to be on the show as well.
Yeah,
But
he might actually remember more like older details about it because he was into wrestling a few years before I was as well. We're the same age, but yeah, he was into it a few years before I was, and he's better at remembering like specific details and such too. So yeah, yeah, I'll let them know.
Tell him to shoot us a DM, and we'll find a date to have him on. And after when he's on, we'll have both y'all on for one of our prediction shows. And yeah, where we actually predict about like upcoming pay-per-views and so on. So yeah.
Nice.
But with that being said, um before we shut this show down, where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, check out your artwork? Have you and you also you say you do commissions, right?
Yes, yes, I
And
do.
also where can wrestlers find you when they want you to? I'm a speak it into existence. Where can wrestlers find you when they want you to design their next shirt for them?
Oh well, I am on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, and I also stream on Twitch too. So, um, on Instagram, that's usually the best place to like send me a DM if you just want to inquire about something. And that's at FunkyPunkNYC underscore art. At and then on Twitch, if you happen to do watch folks on Twitch, that's just at FunkyPunkNYC, and on Twitter I'm eccentric GB.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, you guys can uh, check me out any of those. And do I have any other ones? No, yeah, no, I think that's it. Yeah.
So y'all definitely heard her social media links. Make sure you follow this young woman. She's doing great things. If you
Thank you
want
so much.
definitely check her out. Pro wrestlers, y'all know y'all going y'all love to y'all gonna need new merch and whatnot. Y'all gonna want to release a new shirt, a new cap and whatnot. Definitely hit this woman up. She does great work. You will not regret it. I'm probably gonna hit her up eventually too because I got some plans for some new designs for Ringside Society. So y'all definitely make sure you shoot her a DM and do some business. So with that being said, it's about that time. My eyelids are getting heavy. That means it's time for a nap. Maybe not now,
Yeah.
10 minutes, maybe in the next hour. But before I partake in that activity, if you want to find me on social media, you could find me on Twitch. Not, you can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue and also on Instagram at the Remy Blue as well. I'm also on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. And our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019, Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. Just type in Ringside Society and you'll find us there. We also have a Teespring store where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have T-shirts, we have tank tops, we have long sleeve shirts for the fall, and also hoodies as well. And we also have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage, whether it's just a pumpkin spice latte or some coffee or some good old fashioned hot chocolate marshmallows. We got them
Ooh, hot
available.
chocolate.
Definitely check this out because we got a lot of cool stuff there, and all proceeds, cop some merchandise. All proceeds go back into keeping this show afloat. They don't go back into our pockets. Trust me. I'm still eating hamburger helper and whatnot. But another thing is we also have a YouTube channel where you can see cool interviews like this one, like the one we recently did with Jordy Lee and several other great people that are either fans or involved in the wrestling industry. All you gotta do is go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society, and once you see that sweet dark blue and light blue yin yang sign with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you really don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. And as a matter of fact, this Tuesday we'll be having the tag team of the Scott Ricans, which is David. Um, I think his name is David Ramirez. Sorry, David. I didn't mean to mess up your name. David Ramirez and KJ Mack. They'll be our tag team that will be interviewing this Tuesday. So make sure you tune in for that. They're actually from New York as well. So we got that interview coming up. And with that being said, to those of y'all that tuned in live, thank you very much. We really and truly appreciate it. We try our best to be one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan should listen to. To those of y'all that are going to listen to us later on, thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away. Well, like myself at a Golden Corral, or better yet, like myself at a roti shop. We're not going anywhere for a while. And with that being said, we here at Ringside Side just want to let everybody know that we're very relevant with everybody and the grandparents and the parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. So I'm gonna say it right now. One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the great artwork and the huge wrestling fandom of cartoonist, illustrator, painter, and singer, and fellow pro wrestling fan and fellow Guyanese, Giselle, Funky Punk NYC. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And with that being said, we'll be back with another impressive episode with another impressive guest. But until then, we just want y'all to do four favors for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
Bye.